Hello YouTube audience. I want to make a video on this blueberry semi-cascade bonsai I have. So I make this blueberry into a bonsai earlier this year, maybe in the spring, from a nursery plant. So this is the first year of cultivating this plant as a bonsai for me. And I think I learned something from this first year, and I want to just briefly talk through when I'm thinking about it and make a documentation on it. So you can see this is probably the most beautiful time of the year for this blueberry plant. It turned bright red and the leaves are going to fall off pretty soon, just like the fall. The autumn is just a moment. The autumn color is also a very brief moment of beauty. So it's looking very nice. So one thing about blueberry is it is not a tree but a bush. So the tree form of blueberry doesn't exist. We can basically design the bush with whatever idea we have into just any idealized form, because blueberry isn't a tree. The tree form doesn't exist, so we can basically make whatever we want. And the blueberry, as you see, is turning very golden and red color right now, and it likes to be subjected to full sun, and that's why I put it in the most sunny corner of my balcony. My balcony is kind of very bad for growing bonsai because it's facing north, but on the east corner we can get some full sun in the morning, so I just put it on the east corner of my balcony, and it did pretty well this year. So for almost all trees that develop a good fall color, broadleaf tree, I think it is a good idea to put them into good sunlight, because I can see that on my blueberry. I think I want to show this piece of leaf. You can see this portion is turning red, while there is a part of the leaf that's under the other leaf that didn't get enough sunshine. It's still green. So the leaves turning red in the fall is a result of the plant reabsorbing the chlorophyll, the green color in the leaves, and converting it into energy and storing it in the stem and the roots of the plant, which is a sign that the plant has done enough work this year, accumulated enough energy, and it is getting ready into dormancy and getting ready to take a vacation, take a break during the dormant season. So it's like the leaves is like a factory for the tree to produce product, and the energy source of the factory is the sun. So if it doesn't get enough sun, it doesn't get enough work done. It will turn the color much later, just like this leaf show. If a part of the leaf, one day if we just get a leaf and shaded half of the leaf and the other half exposed to the full sun, I think you will see half of the leaf being green, half of the leaf being red. That would be pretty cool too. You can see other example. So any place on the leaf that is shaded is still green. The side that's exposed to the full sun would be red. And the top is still a little bit green because this branch is in fact the third flush of growth for this plant this year. And the first flush grow out here, and then I wire it down. So this was the original tip of this branch. I wire it down and the new shoot come out. That's second flush, and I cut this here and new shoot come out. That's third flush. So these leaves are relatively young, although already turning color, but it hasn't had as much time to work this year, so it's not accumulating much energy yet, but it is already turning full color. These are the older leaves. I don't think I've cut them this year, so it's turning a bright red. It has had the whole year to work on generating sugar, producing energy for the tree, for the bonsai, so it deserves a good rest. It's going to fall pretty soon. So I find that this blueberry plant responds relatively well to pruning, and so this February I pruned off this major trunk of the tree, and two shoot sprouted, and when it grow up I wired them down, and then I prune off the two shoot, and two other shoots sprouted. So it responds relatively well to the traditional bonsai clip and grow technique, where the ideal case is you prune and then you get two shoot. The next time you prune, you get two more shoot from the place where you prune, and the tree will keep ramifying that way. Although not all of them do this. For example, here I pruned, but it didn't have anything come out. It may because it is a little bit apically dominant, because here we have a very strong shoot coming out, and it take all the energy of this branch and draw all the sap through this branch, and no energy flow through here, so it doesn't sprout it. But next year it may sprout new shoots from that place. I can still see swelling buds there, so that's a good sign. And also this top part I prune, and there's only one shoot come out of the pruning point. So it's not 100%, but it has some success, but not 100% success in the clip and growth technique. Part of it may be due to it is a little bit apically dominant. But as a bush, it's maybe it's a local effect, because it sprouts shoots from the very base all the time. So I expect it to be a relatively good material for bonsai. And we can see there are already flower buds forming on the base of these leaves. And And if I were growing blueberry for the fruit, I'm not going to prune any of the new shoots because the flower buds come out from the new shoots. If you prune, it's not going to flower and it's not going to have fruit. But for bonsai, the primary purpose of doing bonsai is to develop a nice branch structure. So come next early spring, I'm going to prune off all the long shoots and hopefully it would respond by bifurcating, getting more shoots come out. And I may allow it to flower a little bit because the flower doesn't take much energy, but I will definitely take the flower off before it fruit because fruiting take a lot of energy and it's going to slow down the development of the bonsai. So I probably let it fruit when it become a well-established bonsai, but at this point I'm not going to let it fruit too much. And currently the tree is in a training pot, a plastic square pot, which is not really suitable for a deciduous and colorful bonsai like this. So when it comes next year, I'm planning to put it into a glaze pot. I think I'm going to do it in this pot. So if we put it near there, it would look like this. Pretty nice pot. It is actually a pot one of my good friend gave me, and it can be taken apart into two. And this is even a smaller pot than this training pot, so I'm pretty much need to further reduce the root ball to get it into this pot. But it doesn't have a hole, so next year I will need to drill some drainage hole on the bottom of this pot. So I think that would make the plant look very good in a glazed pot. And next year, so this red color is a sign that the plant is ready to go into dormancy. And so I'm not going to do any pruning at this point. If I prune at this point, the tree would not respond anyway. So I'm just going to let it drop all its leaves and maybe prune next early spring, maybe in January, early February, prune it, and then I'm going to wait for a little bit and then repot the tree into its new home. So it is currently planted in Kanuma, which is a acidic bonsai soil, and the plant respond pretty well growing in this soil. It is just a very light soil that when you water it normally float, but if I put these sphagnum moss on the surface, I find that it makes it easier to water because sphagnum moss is heavy and it's not going to flow. But birds come and pick the moss and take back to their nest all the time, so that's a little bit of a headache, but it's fine for me. So I think I'm just going to give a quick 360 turn, and so that we can see it in all angles for one more time, and it's ready for a good rest in the winter. It has done very well this year. There are still a lot of crossing branches, a lot of pruning, but I will wait until the next year. In the fall, it's okay to prune too. It's just they just won't respond to your pruning. So you prune, you don't know what would happen. And for Japanese maple though, the time after they turn fall color is one of the best time to prune, because then it would not bleed that much. Japanese maple, when you prune them, they like to bleed, and if you let them bleed again and again, it may weaken the tree. So in the fall, when the leaves has completely turned its color, you know all the energy is stored in the root already, and the sap is no longer flowing, you can prune Japanese maple. But for other trees, because when you prune it, it doesn't respond, it doesn't heal, and for the long winter there may be fungus disease get into the wound because it doesn't heal. So in deep fall, it may not be the best time to prune. So I'm going to wait until the beginning of next year to prune this plant back. At this time, I will just enjoy the beautiful fall color and let it get to rest. It has done very well this year. We can also look at it from the top, which has even better view on the fall color. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.